Welcome to Parascension Radio, bringing you new perspective for your spiritual evolution. So get ready and welcome your host, Solana.
Welcome to those of you to Parascension Life Radio in our Parascension group on Facebook is where we're streaming from. So if you haven't and you're not and you're watching this later, come on over and join us so you can come into the live. You never know what's going to happen or what's going to go on. As long as we go live, we're good, right? But anyway, uh, I've been, this year's been crazy, I know, for everybody, right? And so, but it's given, it's afforded me opportunity to do some things that, I needed to do, which is, finishing up that Parascension Life book and, getting that out there. And just, really though, it's been a year though, even though we're supposed to be this separate, social distancing thing, I've traveled all over the place. I've traveled. And we've gotten together and we have family gatherings all the time. And we've learned, just like with everything else, you learn to you know get along to go along. And so for everybody and anybody that doesn't know, tonic water really is what saved a lot of us. And I know I keep talking about it, but I keep using it. I get the snivels, a little cough anymore, and I just take a swig of that tonic water, and that goes away. And then I follow that with some vitamin C gummy bears because tonic water doesn't taste great. But that's my opinion. Some people like that tonic water show. But anyway, the things that it does for us is just it's remarkable. And Janie, I didn't get a chance to respond to that messaging that was going on the other day, but so I didn't even know, that the quinine helps with like leg cramps and stuff too. Other benefits always come about. And so, we keep all that stuff in mind, though, as we move forward, post COVID, as we're calling our world now. Post COVID. Post COVID, we're learning um, to, adjust and really about personal hygiene. We all don't wash our cars out. We drive around with our cars just full of junk and trash and it's just weird for me to watch you drive around like that and have a mask on. You're carrying around more fungus and bacteria than a lot of people. So yeah, personal hygiene. Keep it clean. Definitely wash your hands after you go to the restroom. Don't leave the toilet wet. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, personal hygiene. And yes, Janie, the brand of tonic that I prefer is Schweppes. The Schweppes tastes better to me. But Canada Dry is another one also that we use. So, and they both work the same. I've used them both. But the Schweppes tastes better for me. I like it. I like it more better. So yeah, the Schweppes. And again, as you know, blah, I don't even like talking about stuff that can get you banned on other sites and stuff. Stupid. People talking about things that can actually help you is not a bad thing. And we should all do that for each other. Share what you know, what you've learned. Because again, it, it, even before um, pre-COVID, um, you know, uh, um, and I have to. But anyway, pre-COVID, we definitely had different thoughts about certain ways that we would act and be, and so we need to get that personal hygiene going. That's all, and I hope that's what we learn, and that we see that once the fear of this virus, it's one of the smartest viruses we've ever had to deal with because it knows when you have a mask on. It knows when you're 6 feet away. It knows when you walk into a restaurant or to take a seat at the table. Most backwards things. But it was always backwards. And uh, yeah, we're dealing with it. We grow, we go. And totally there's need to move on. We need to just move on from it. You know. Oh, 2020 is going to be a different meaning to 2020 is hindsight. That's what I want to say too, because before COVID, we all said hindsight's 2020 because you learn something after you go through it, but you should have already known, before you went through it. So it gives a whole new meaning to hindsight is 2020. And speaking of meanings, the other thing I want to talk about is what's in a name. I have been um, always interested in old world history and stuff because I know that our connections to it, especially with doing readings and stuff for people, you find out about their past lives and um, what they were and where they lived. Not all the details, but definitely era. The era that they lived, the year that they lived, and what were they? What nationality? What part of the world? Was it on this world? And so anyway, when you start looking into all that, you realize, a lot of things that you do in this lifetime are really related to, past lives and what you experienced. You might have like a thing for Egyptian stuff, or you like, Christopher Columbus, you like all the different stuff from that era. It's like, okay, why is that? It's like, okay, yes, you can be a great history buff and want to know, but it's because you probably lived it, and you probably know a lot of it, because you lived it. And so, anyway, I've always felt, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you how many lifetimes I have lived and trillions of years ago. I feel older than dirt in my spirit life. But for this lifetime, I wanted to know. In fact, the first thing I go get when I go find my guru is, a past life reading. Because I want to know who I am. Where did I come from? What am I doing? And so, anyway, the name that I was born into, and I know this up on the event page, is the name, the crest, the family crest. I gotta move it up there a little bit. The family crest for the last name Bramblett, and of course, that's origin is from England. Because again, old world. But the crest was very interesting when I found it, just for all the detail on it and what it represents. And so, and I'm not going to go through all that with you because, again, it's But that raven, that black bird, he's always around, even in this lifetime. And the really cool part also is that we had this done, and this is by the Historical Research Center, and it's a family name history. Let me move that way. Family name history. And these are really cool. I don't know if anybody's ever taken the time or my ex and I actually did this for my last name and for his last name. So we have Fox as well, but he has that. Brian, you might want to see if he still has that. That would be cool if you could, look at it and see what it says on there for the Fox side. But, in any case, um, oh my God, I probably had this now for like 25, 30 years. But the little bit of the information that it gives you, and of course that blackbird's a raven on the crest. And it also tells you what is on your crest and what it means. Um, but anyway, I want to read this to you because I found it fascinating, uh, you know, for who I am in this lifetime and what this name represents and what it's connected to for our realities, if you will. But anyway, let's just start. I'm going to read it for you real quick. It's just a couple paragraphs. Those ancestors of the distinguished Bramblett family, living in the first century BC, flourished at a time when England was primarily inhabited by Celts, uh, Celtics, because it's CELTS. As the guest, or rather, as the year 55 BC drew to a close, those early generations of the Bramblett family entered a new year, which is which it is believed witnessed the invasion of England by the Romans, led by Julius Caesar. In AD 43, the Roman Emperor Claudius decided um, on outright conquest, and by AD 120, the Romans Britain had emerged, and family. members of the Bramblett bloodline living in England at the time endured Roman rule until 410, even using the Latin language, or rather the Latin language, for a time. Latin, however, fell quickly into disuse in favor of the native Celtic dialects. The Celtic gave way in turn to the Anglo-Saxon, who began their conquest of Britain in the 6th century. Indeed, it was from the Germanic people called the Angles that England took its name. In the year 597, an event took place in England, the reaffirmation of which could not have been foretold in England or in the rest of Europe by contemporary members of the Bramblett lineage. The event in question was the conversion of the contemporary members of the Bramblett lineage. The event, oh wait, I'm sorry, I skipped up that page. The event in question was the conversion of the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of the Kent to Latin Christian family, Christianity by the monk Augustine, who became the first archbishop of Canterbury and subsequently achieved sainthood. Um, okay, and then from the last 6th through the early 9th century, these early generations of the Bramblett family lived at a time where Anglo-Saxon England was a center of culture and scholarship, based upon a fusion of the classical learning introduced by Augustine from Rome and the work of Irish monks. This period of relative security was ended by the Vikings in, incursion. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Incursion in the 9th century. During the 11th century, ancestors of the Bramblett family dwelled in a Europe which saw one of the most significant events in English history take place, the Norman conquest of 1066. Given its early history, it is indeed not surprising that family names, such as the worthy name Bramblett, should reflect the diversity of peoples who have inhabited the country from early times. Thus, today in England are found names of Celtic origins, particularly those derived from the pre-Saxon place names and those of the Dutch of Cornwall, Germanic origins, from the Anglo-Saxon and French from those knights who accompanied William the Conqueror. With regards to the last one, the majority of the name-worthy names, some of these which no doubt have been borne either by blood relatives of the Bramblett family or by those tied to them by marriage, find their origins at the name of the Norman residents of their original barrier or this occupation, with many of the first recorded in England. Oh my goodness, it goes on. Hang on, let me get to this point right here. The English surname Bramblett is the phonemic of the origin surname of which derive their origins from the personal name of the father of the initial barrier. In this instance, the surname Bramblett is derived from the first name Bram. Indeed, the suffix is in instance, the surname Bramblett is derived from the first name Bram. Indeed, the suffix is a diminutive, therefore, the surname Bramblett literally signifies descendant or son of the little Bram. The second B is the name Bramblett and that is the first name Bram itself, a perk of the biblical Abraham, according to um, uh, I don't even know what that word means. I can't tell because of the writing in this. It's hard to read sometimes because it's in that English writing also. Anyway, Abraham is most remembered for his unanswering faith, even to the point of sacrificing his only begotten son, Isaac, as God demanded of him. So, our name, Bramblett, is a derivative of Abraham. And I find that really, really interesting because it is the Abraham, of course, that is the father of the Jews. And that has always been one of the things that I never got to go and experience was living that Jewish life because I was always into what my father tried to take us around to was it was always the Christian stuff, which I'm grateful for, but at the same time I always wanted to go to the temple. So when I found this that my last name was a direct derivative of the Abraham that I've always wanted to go and and look into, I was just like, whoa. I mean, that's pretty interesting because he definitely has been a symbol of faith, regardless of, we all know, no, regardless of your religion, you all know Abraham. I mean, it's definitely, you know, in line with what we do, because not that I'm the father of the Jew. That's not what I'm saying. But that I am in service. Abraham was in service to God. And that meaning you're that kind helper spirit and you're in service to those that are around you. And I really should have, I wish I could take this out. If you wish you could see this, because the writing in it is old English, so it's hard to get it all down in the font, to be able to see it all. And but it's very interesting. So I always wondered, did anybody else do this for themselves? Does anyone else take the time to check out what their name means? Because, again, we get married and it changes our name and, and a name, everyone's just like, especially, if you don't want to get married and change your name. So many people don't want to change their name for whatever reason. But it's interesting when we can look back and see what our names mean. Because I don't know about you, but it definitely just solidified what I'm here doing, right? Being of service and being in that mode of being that helper spirit, and just having that faith and taking that step. And no matter what I do, it's like, okay, let's go, let's show up, you know. We got to show up. We got to show up. We got to show up. And so that's whew, what I want everyone to do and to learn is to show up. You got to show up. We got to show up. You want to talk to someone, call them, But it's all about what's in your name, So I don't know. Is it just me? Again, I say that all the time. Is it just me? Am I the only one that wants to think about these things? I don't think so because I know I have that question come at me a lot during readings. So I know I'm not the only one. And again, they want to know who they were, and what does it mean in this lifetime, for that memory to play a role in who they are in this lifetime. Like if you have memory or you're told like you were this great musician, and like Louis Armstrong, let's just say. Louis Armstrong. You were Louis Armstrong in a past life, and in this lifetime, you love music, and you're playing. You can play all kinds of instruments. You're not settled on one. So how do you apply that in this lifetime? And again, it's not like you have to now take on what Louis did or what Louis played or what Louis presented, but just know that you're of that spirit, that universal musical language. You're of that spirit, and that should just give you even more, confidence and drive to do what you love to do in this lifetime. And so, it's not about, you know, if you were queen of, the Nile, which everyone gets so disappointed to find out that they were just some, not just some random but a common person, commoners. We're mostly commoners, like we are today. We're commoners. Just meaning that we don't have, this extraordinary, you know, put in everybody else's face's life. It's just about what we're accomplishing and what we're doing in this lifetime. and living in our moment. That's what we need to learn. No matter how many lifetimes we have had, no matter how many names we have had, we have to be in the now now. Be in the now now. We have to be in the now now. Be in our moment and really just focus. Not even, again, I hate to say the focus, but it does bring focus when you're in that knowing. It's not like you have to, try and attain focus. Focus just begins to come into view. Just like the, calmness, and it just comes in. And so it just starts to be habit. It's not, habit is something you just do without even thinking about. Well, that's what happens as we, start moving on and doing our thing, and we just do. It's like I was telling my grandson the other day. We don't try, we do, and I love it because he's starting to open up and look into what his chakras represent for him, and it's a relationship. But I've constantly, he calls me all the, oh shit, I wish I could say he calls me all the time. But anyway, I can feel him call out. But he does call, and we talk to him, and he's like, okay, can you check on my chakras? See how I'm doing? And I love it, because again, it's just that flow of who we are, and this stuff comes naturally to us. We don't have to try. It just comes. That's why I wanted to try and do some connections tonight. Let me see. Um, Yeah, okay, let's see. Yes, and again, this chat is like delayed now because I was just talking on it and it wasn't moving for me at all. But no, Schweppes does not sponsor Solana or have anything to do with anything that I do. I'm not promoting them. I'm letting you know what we used and what worked for us. How's that? Yeah, I would love to hear from their representatives. It is pretty cool. Um, Yeah, and let me see here. You're saying, okay, because it helps. I don't make it to the liquor store to get it, but I will, or order it from Amazon. There are lots of amoxon, and the price is higher than it used to be. Just like you said, yeah. I go to the liquor store, and it's $2 a bottle, roughly, and then or I'll go to the grocery store, and it's Schweppes is $1.50. Um, it's good stuff. All right, so your great great grandmother was a Jew. Her family came over here. I don't know why, but they had a different religion, not Jewish, but yet strange. A lot of people came over here because they were getting persecuted in their own country, for their beliefs. That's crazy, especially because of the class wars. People thinking it's a religion war, but it's a class war. They're just trying to wipe out all the little common folk. And good, I'm glad it's not just me. Yay. But you're also Scottish. Family name Boyd mean yellow-haired people and people who live by the river. How cool! In America, Bryan saying in America, it gets lost. Our American ancestors ran from their ancient history, so the American culture dominated over the ancient history. It started to get lost. So yeah, now it's work. It is work to discover it. It truly is. Thank goodness there are places that you can go to. There's people who do genealogy, and they'll do your family history. It will cost you. Um, and then let's see, it'll cost you a little bit. I mean, like even what we did. I think it was, and well, and I've had these forever. It was a couple $100 20 years ago. So, but anyway, they're cool to have, and it's nice to pass down. My kids are going to get these, so it's good to have. And I think it's important for us to know our history. People want to cancel our history. I don't want to cancel nothing, except for some really sick individuals, pedophiles, killers, and the like. Um, but in other words, we want to remember. We want to know if you try and erase our history, then we're going to repeat it. Yuck. Who wants to do that? Not me. Um, Janie's saying I'm also part native. Some of their names were Little Heart or Little Heart. Okay. And I even found some of their food vouchers in the new Echta. How do you say that town? Just before their removal in Georgia mountains. How cool. And Janie, no, you don't talk too much, please. Do go on. And hello, Miss Nicole. Oh, and thank you. Orange looks nice on you. I didn't. I wasn't sure. I was in an orange mood. I feel very grounded. Of course, I always say I'm connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing as the love of the divine. But today I've been really grounded in that career, in that what I need to do, and that's a lot of work. I'm gonna need a couple assistants. uh, I am. Um, but thank you for saying that orange looks nice on me. I love it. I love this shirt. Anyway, so yes, my Scottish ancestors came here because of religious persecution. Yep, most of them did. Because again, they didn't come here because they, had already heard about the Americans, and well, actually, a lot of them did because they were they were from England area and in that in that part of the world and traveled over here. And so yeah, and they did it for many years before our ancestors that we can say came over, um, or were here when they came over. They were coming over long before that. A matter of fact, I don't know if y'all, I know we talked about the monolith the other night, but some people are saying that that was, people that did that. That the pictures of it actually show how you can break it down, and they were moving it in a wheelbarrow. So I don't know if do y'all believe that. What do you think? What do you think? But then there's also talk of things that are found in the Grand Canyon that were Egyptian. I heard about that a couple of years ago. And then all the monoliths that are actually found by walls or other pyramids that are constantly being found. We still have not found everything. I'm going to move this down. You also did my blood ancestry by blood, or you also did my ancestry by blood, not from, I'm dyslexic, sorry, not from ancestry from another group, and it verified everything I had heard and researched myself. hmm Now, the only thing I don't like about, I mean, there are some you can do when you do your ancestry by blood, um, not from ancestry, but they only give you Anglo and maybe Asia heritage. They don't do Native American on a normal. You have to like pay extra to get a Native American because did you realize if here in the United States you got certified that you had more than what is it 25% point 0.5 whatever it is 0.25 then you get certified and you get benefits from our government. Yeah. So they don't want a bunch of people getting certified on these tests, but they want you to take these tests. And I didn't do one personally, but my sister did, and it came back with stuff we knew, except for the Native American that we know to be in our family. Um, but and it said that we had blood from Ethiopia, which I already knew. We had African American in our family as well because we have stories of a great 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 grandfather that was a slave of one of our family members, and made it with one of this. So anyway, that's how that's how that got started. So we're such a mixture, and that's why I really don't like when people talk about all the racism that's going on because most of us have so many. I mean, we're mutts. Really, we have so many. There's no pure blood. There is only one race. Where? Even in Native American cultures right now, they're keeping it tight because they keep spreading it up. You can't help it. It's like the Cherokee. We spread love. And political distractions, always political distractions. Um, And then, right, but the doctor in the one I used is Native American, and I knew that, so he does the real deal. Cool. African American in your family, too. So many of us. It's like, please. Even to this day, it's like, we don't fall in love with skin color. We don't. We don't. We fall in love with hearts. That's what we fall in love with. People's hearts. That's, let's just stay there. Let's keep it right there. But yeah, so many of us are, definitely mixed, and that's okay. I love it. I have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful children. I have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful grandchildren, and it will continue. Exactly. I hate to hear so much about race. Me too. And again, that's their distraction. They want you to think we're all racist, but we're not. We know we're not. That's why I don't even. When I hear that, I'm just like yawn. It's not even a little true. And for I can say the same thing for everywhere I've ever lived. You have some people that talk, but then if they were to really look at their DNA, mm-hmm. But anyway, that's but it's important really for our names, for our history, where we came from, just so we can know, and so that we teach that to our children. My children all know they're mixed. There's no ever been any kind of you know reason not to say it. Um, I've always called them my Amazon children too because they're all taller than me, and that always happen. But anyway, I digress. Um, they are my Amazon children. But mixing makes your children even more beautiful. Yes, that's what I just. Oh, yes, I agree, Janie. Yes, my children are beautiful, and my children's children are beautiful, and that's just the way it goes. My family, we got some beautiful peeps. That's just. And we're people. We're human. We're one race. It's the human race. So yeah, I would rather someone want to know about their family name than their DNA. I mean, because clearly, I mean, to just put it in perspective, I mean, what show was it that I was watching that had this thing you could walk up to and it'll tell you, who you're related to just by you walking and stepping on this pad, and then up comes all your, grandparents and everybody you were related to. It's pretty interesting, but it'll be like that one day. Technology's going to go there. Technology. It's a whole other subject. We could do a whole other show on technology and what's being suppressed, what's out there, what we might all remember. How many of you have memories from past lives where you have that different technology? Like when I don't know about you, but growing up, watching the Jetsons, I was like, we've already done that. Yeah, this show totally makes sense because I know we don't have that right now, but I know we did, and I know we will. That was just the feeling I grew up with, watching these shows and with all these futuristic things, and even Back to the Future was supposed to by this time we're we're supposed to have all these things, and I think the closest we've gotten is the hoverboard, but I don't suggest getting those. I hear they catch fire. It's not the technology that is meant for that type of product, and that's what they're keeping and suppressing is the technology meant for that kind of product. Speaking of products, but anyway, that's what they do. They keep us in this loop de loop, of what we think we want, what we think we're going to. But no, it's our perception that definitely changes things for us, though. And if you can be of the mind that not everything out there is good, and not everything out there is useful, and not everything out there is of value, it's like, okay, all right, just bring me the stuff that's good. Bring me the stuff that's going to better myself. And pray for that technology to be released. Because again, I was watching a show on YouTube the other day. It was Michael Jacko, I think is his name. And my sister had me start listening to it. So I'm like, okay, let me check out this guy. Um, anyway, they're talking about the space program, and they start off the show though. There's four of them talking, and they like have the shared memories of a time in Atlantis, where they would get into like I don't know if you ever saw the movie even because I was I relate a lot of stuff to music, movies, things I've seen that I go because they tell you what's out there, they tell you what they're doing, they show you, they have to tell you what they're doing. But anyway, Jupiter Rising, oh no, Jupiter Ascending, is about this interplanetary family that owns planets and harvests them. And anyway, one of the scenes is this one of the sister going into her rejuvenation pool, where she gets into this pool of like almost like ambiotic fluid, from being pregnant. Is that it's a water, but it's different than water. Okay, when people say you're pregnant and the baby's in a water, it's not exactly water. When they say they're water broke, it's just a little bit of filter. But anyway, and so they melt people down when they harvest them, and this is what they rejuvenate in to make themselves younger. Because this woman was supposedly, you know, almost 1,000 years old, and she looked like she's in her 30s. Or in fact, I think they take you back to 30. So they had this shared memory, though, of that kind of a thing happening, and they all kind of freaked out. I think when they, started talking. People do that. They start talking, and the more people that come together and talk together, the more information comes forward. The more memories are activated. I guess that's why I'm always trying to bring people together. I want us to have conversations. I want us to talk about stuff because the more we do, the more information comes through, the more memories are activated. And that's a word that I like to use because we're activating each other in that memory and in that energy. And that's something that we need to do. We need to come together in this separate social distancing era. Throw that out the window. Social distancing is a 15-year-old's school project. It is not even a scientific fact. And don't get me started. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get distracted by the stupid stuff that's going on. I, but it's a topic of conversation for a lot of people. Again, what's happening, our perspective of it. Like we have to remove the fear that they've been causing. I mean, like all year long. They've been doing it a lot longer than this year, but this year they amped it up. This year they really amped it up, and there are still people trying, or states trying to close stuff down. And anyway, we just got to get on the path though, where we're coming back together. And getting that mindset that that's what we need. We have to have a human interaction. We have to have human touch. Just please wash your hands. We have to have, that oneness and that energy sharing without any limitations, without the masks, without the plexiglass. Stupid. How many of you have been to a buffet and they have that thing and you still got to be careful. But anyway, it's just ridiculous what they're doing. But anyway, I digress. We need to start connecting and start coming together more. Oh, and cool, Janie, you watch what's his Jacko. Michael Jacko. I only remember it because she made me search it up, and I had to type it. When you write something down, you have a clearer memory recall. So that's something that we need to practice also. Is writing stuff down. Really, just putting your experiences, your thoughts down on paper. And I'm not talking about your wishes and your hopes and your dreams. Those things are not for you to put, all over the place. But just to go through your experiences, help you to remove them from your energy. A lot of the stuff that, we do, energetic clearing and cleansing, people might get stuck on the chakra. And so if they're stuck on that chakra, then I ask them to stop and just sit for a moment and write out whatever experience comes to your mind. Because whatever that experience that's coming to your mind in that moment is what's blocking that chakra. So we're able to push through it. And so writing stuff down is definitely a good thing to do also. And, again, like when you're going through your chakras, if you get stuck and you feel like you can't do something, also pay attention to the colors that are around you. Because I know, like if you're working on just that one chakra, your chakras are going to all start talking to you going, hey, there's orange over here. Hey, here's some yellow. Hey, blue's over there. Oh, green, don't forget me. I'm over here. Those are the colors of your chakra, purple. And then, so, all these things are going to start coming at you for you to start paying attention, for you to be able to clear that chakra. So we can move on, right? We clear those chakras and keep them clear so that we don't take everything so personal, so that we can move on, and remove some of the emotion and the empathy. So especially if you're one of those kind of people who can't work through things or go through stores or be around a bunch of people, let's work on that because you need that connection. Um, Janie's saying one of my astral projections in part of it, I saw a tank with water, liquid something, It was clear, and I was told that there were some people were being born onto Earth through. Didn't understand it, but the trip was not about that anyway. Oh, what was the trip about? You don't have to share. But in any case, that's cool though that you saw a tank like that and had that, that liquid stuff in it and that people were being born. It's kind of like even in the movie The Matrix. One of the first, things that they show you about the Matrix is these pods where their bodies are all connected. Remember, Neo had to be popped out of that pod and they all had little babies in there. Little babies. They should take these little babies and put them in these pods. So they're running it, and then you can imagine when they're done with that body, what are they doing with it? They're just melting it down and using it for what they need. So they feed on you several different ways. They feed on us several different ways. We have to know that they feed on you. It's one through your emotion. It sucks you in. And then through your physical body, it starts to just drain you. And then you know, at the time of death, it is known that they liquefy a lot of the bodies. Like you might be told, Grandma's going to be buried over here. Grandma's buried, there's a funeral, you see the body, it goes in the ground, but they never close that up while you're watching or while anybody's there. So what are they really doing? What's really going on? So many horror stories, but they're true. That the things that these beings do. Whole other story. But in any case, we have memory. That's what I'm. Let's get back to the point. Point was, the more we talk, the more we activate those memories, and the more information comes through. So I think that again, we're all a piece of the puzzle. We are all a piece of the puzzle, and we're missing several pieces right now because some people aren't coming in and talking. You understand? And so when those people come in and start talking, well, then here comes those pieces of the puzzle, and we know what synchronicity starts happening, dream starts happening in that group. It can be a beautiful thing as long as everybody understands that no egos are involved, that we are all one in that group, and that no one is leading it but spirit, and all information is channeled through all. Bits and pieces come from everyone. There's nothing selfish about being in this group because all voices are needed. Your input, your opinion, your whatever you bring to the table is needed. Everybody needs to know that. We need to come together. It's time to come together and really just understand what that means. And I think that knowing our history, knowing your name, knowing who you were, it helps bring it all together in this lifetime. And it should give you confidence knowing that, hey, look what I did in that lifetime. Things weren't so bad, but doesn't matter what it was, some things were still screwed up because we're in a backwards place. We need to turn this place right side up, and there's only one way to do that, and that's to come together and know that it can be turned right side up, and practice that. I've got groups, energy vortexes that go out, and people know that if they want to come in, they just lend their energy to that vortex. Say, I want to involve myself in Solana's vortex that's going to bring nothing but loving and healing and energy of positivity to the planet and to anything and everything those vortexes touch. And then, if you're doing it and you're actually participating and you can feel it, you can see it, get back to me. Let me know. Follow up. I like to know who's involved, even though I can tell. I'm and not because here's the thing: when I say Solana's vortex, that's just for you to have a direction. Because trust me, I'm involved in massive amounts of other people that are doing the same work, and I'm lending my energy and my vortex to their intentions. And so again, there's all kinds of groups that are involved. I'm not the only one, thank God. I know I'm not because I encounter several that have just come out with that information that hey, this is what we're doing. I'm like, cool, that's what I'm doing. So I know that I'm joining in your energy, and I don't even have to like know your name, know where you are on this planet or not on this planet. Right? That's the cool part about being in this energy and knowing how we're all connected through that energy. That's the carte blanche of being here because I know I'm not alone. And I know there's other people working towards it. And, yeah, sometimes it feels like it's taken forever. But Time is only relative here. We're only here for a short amount of time. I mean, you're lucky if you're here. I think what is the oldest person so far is 125 or something like that. You're lucky to live that long. There used to be back in the day, in the 70s, or not 70s, but the 30s and the 20s. You were lucky if you lived to be in the 50s and the 60s. You were lucky because lifespans lifespans were shorter, smaller back then. So we know that we go through many lives. So it's important to know that history, just to bring it all together, so you don't feel so small and insecure in this lifetime. You're this big, magnanimous spirit. I can't tell you how big the spirit is because when I look back at my body, I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna go back in that little thing, that little tiny body over there. I don't want to, because I'm so big and broad, and I'm connected to everything when we're doing the astral traveling. Who else does astral traveling? I mean, it's just for fun to go out. But I also do astral projection because I do astral Reiki. Sorry, I have to move this cord. I do astral Reiki, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, or off the world. I go there to you, and astral projection myself there. But to astral project to go out is something that I'd like to do as a group also, so we can go to different locations and see what's up, see what's there, what's happening in that part of the world or in that room. I would love it. I mean, I know it can be done, and I know the more of us that come together and know that and live in that faith, um, the more it happens. Um, let's see. I know some of my past lives. In one, I was a prostitute in England. Not exactly proud of that. Hey, don't worry about that. I was a madam. Mm-hmm. Yep, I was. I got told by um oh my god, somebody a long time ago. And she was spot on too about this other thing because even though I was a madam, I had this thing about smells. Everything had to smell just right to me. And I'm still like that today. I am like that. Matter of fact, just so you know. I was going to come on last night and do a live here in the group. I wanted to try out the new video thing because we can do a group where everybody comes on video and can video chat. It's not just me up here talking. I had bought some, Glade plugins because I like my smells, right? And they didn't have my apple cinnamon, which is my go-to. Apple cinnamon is the one that I know I can handle, I can tolerate, and I love the smell. So I bought pumpkin spice, thinking, let me try this. This one should be okay. It didn't smell too powerful when I scratched it at the store, right, and smelt it. Brought it home, and within minutes, I kid you not, I was passing out. I had to go. I had to lay down. I had to go to sleep. I just told my mom, I was like, oh my god, all of a sudden I'm just so tired. I didn't even think about, oh, it's from the plug-in. So I go to sleep, and I slept hard for almost 3 hours. I slept. I could not wake up. And when I did wake up, that smell just hit me, and I was just seriously gagging, just flimming it up, and I had to get out of the house. I had to open my doors, and it's chilly. it's it's a little chilly, so but I didn't care. I had to unplug the plug-ins. I only had two in here in my whole house, but I had to unplug them both, throw them away, open the door, go outside, and I was like that for a good, I don't know, 15 minutes after I woke up. And so as the night went on, it got better, but there was no coming on here. And hello, Miss Linda. So cool to see you in here. You know, have it's been too long. It's been too long. So yeah, I know there's a delay in that chat room, which I don't like. I wish they would stop that. They need to just. What's the problem? But anyway, so yeah, I had a thing about smells, even though I was a madam, and I believe it. Like I said, I still have the most crazy allergies this lifetime. I've missed you too, Miss Linda. I see your post every now and again. Facebook is so weird anymore. If you don't interact with my posts, then I don't get to see your post. And especially I got a couple thousand, and I try not to add. too many to that page over there, Miss Solana, aka Sheri. Because I already don't get to see the people that I want to interact with. So, and I've tried making the list. That doesn't work anymore. It's crazy. So, yeah. So come over and interact with me on my page if we're friends over there. If we're not friends over there and we are over here, just interact with me here though, because I may not add you. I probably have, I don't even know how many hundreds sitting there waiting to be added, but I just don't. I want to keep that one, it's public, but it's private. I've got all kind of private, in rather public groups. I got Solana's fan club. I got Psychic Solana. Those are two public pages. Um, a madam in a past life, LOL. I know, or you said it, but just want to be sure and clean up any potential confusion. That's funny. Yeah, a long time ago. Okay, it's probably back in the I don't know. I mean, the time period she was describing had to be like early 1900s, late 1800s. Yeah, I'm gonna go with late 1800s because I know my last life before this life, I was actually in war. I was in war. It was either I don't think it was Vietnam because even the Vietnam was still going on. It had started before I was born. And but my dad wasn't over there. But anyway, it was one of the wars. I know. I can't remember now. Dang it. And I was talking with this guy about it that I used to know because he believed that I was in that life with him. So yeah, so many lifetimes. So many lifetimes. But anyway, yeah. Facebook is weird like that. So, but again, I'm still on Facebook, and people are like, "Why are you still on Facebook?" And I'm like, "Cause I use all their technology against them. I'm on social media, but I'm not. I don't follow guidelines and rules, and I speak out against the social media censoring. And yeah, I'm gonna use it because it's a platform. And for now, we'll see what happens with Facebook, well, and Twitter and all of them. We'll see what happens. But I'm over on Parlor also. If you want to go over to Parlor, I'm also on Rumble. Um, so yeah. So all of the past lives sound familiar? No. I mean, what do you mean? I mean, I feel like I was a madam. I feel like I was a man at war. They're not familiar. But I mean, what do you mean? Or so do you mean they sound familiar to you? Again, this delay. So yeah, I don't want to sit here and not say nothing though because I'm just looking at the chat room over here going, what do you mean? Um, but yeah, for me, past lives are all different. They're all different. I even have memory. I know people are like, oh, but even the time that Jesus walked. Um, oh, you're asking if you did that reading for me? No. I mean, no. 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 I knew about those. Actually, before I met you, Miss Linda. But I'm sure I've talked about them. Maybe. Maybe that's what it's from. I've talked about 'em. But yeah, so there are a few people in the chat room that don't really know each other. Do you guys want to? But I know you all. I know you all. Do you want to try and connect to someone in the room? And oh, and hello, Miss Heather. Do you know your past lives because you've seen them, or did you go to someone who helped with that? I've seen most of my past lives. I did have like the madam one I had seen before she told me, but she told me the extra thing about the smells, which really I could relate to that. And then I knew about the last past life of being a man at war. And then when I met this guy named Bill years ago, I mean like 35 years ago, I can't know how that's possible when I'm only 29, but and we started talking. We had another life together also. We had memory, and it was really crazy the way that memory came out because we were both sitting in on IHOP, and there was this group of kids that had just come in. They had like little league or something, and they were coming in to have dinner after their game. So it was all loud in there, right? It was loud. It was fun. Everybody was having a good time. I'm not complaining, but then all of a sudden, all of the sound around me went down, and I just got this rush and this buzz come through my body, and I was like transported to this planet, and I started just telling this guy Bill all this stuff that I'm seeing and I'm feeling. And I feel like we were in this lifetime together, and again, it was a huge planet that was at war. These wars, and the two of us were in a craft taking off with others that were taking off and leaving the planet. And then after I saw that, it was like came back in my body. I could hear all the noise again. It was crazy. Anyone ever have anything like that happen where you just need all the noise and everything around you, just you don't hear it no more, and then boom, you're seeing stuff. Well, that happens. It happens. Okay, just felt familiar to you. Okay, but yeah, so both Heather or Ty. I'm not. Are you hi Ty? Hi Heather. Both. To where I've had memory, and then where other people have helped me with that, and I've helped other people too. Sometimes it'll come through. If that's one of the intentions, the spirit needs you to know, needs you to see. That stuff comes through also, and then also it also can come through in just that I can see things that you are attracted to in this lifetime. Like if you had a real affection for some type of error, that you have all over your house. You might have different paintings, or you might have different art. You might, the bold colors. I mean, there can be all kinds of things that will play out in this lifetime. And I'll see that, and I'll be like, "Oh, you have an affinity for Egyptian stuff." And it's amazing too how many people have the Egyptian. I feel like a lot of us were probably in Egypt and went through the time of Christ. So yeah, okay, it's a heart. It's Heather. But interesting stuff, though, huh? I mean, a lot of information. Like I said, the more we talk, the more stuff comes out. So I would love to do if ever, whoever's game. I don't even know how it works. All I know is the other night I tried to go live on the page, so that it would be less confusion, for people as to where we are in the event page or on the live. But anyway, and it called all the people that I, was talking to. It called my kids and Nicole, and we were all on this video chat. And I was like, what? So yeah, we need to try that. We'll do that sometime too. That way, again, we can all talk together instead of just me doing the talking and then reading your stuff. So and it helps, I think, energetically also just to see everybody. That's one of your interests, yeah, Egyptian. You were probably there. I'm telling you, a lot of us come together, and that's the other thing. We're soul families. We might travel together and go through lifetimes together, which is really cool. Because again, it can bring in different information, different events, experiences, stuff that we agree to go through together. So I love it. The whole aspect of the Parascension world. It's encompassing everything. It's everything that we are and our potential to be. And I think the more that we come together, the more those things will happen, like telepathy and oh my gosh, telepathic communication. Not having to speak what you're thinking. Now, and I love it because if we're at that point, people can't lie. People can't lie to you when you can read their minds. They cannot lie. We can't have dirty politicians because they can't lie. They won't be able to lie. I love that. I mean, because again, I have a hard time lying now. And I that's why I think a lot of us have a hard time. We're not liars. We're not people who um, abuse and use people and lie and are greedy and selfish. If you were, then you You're not anymore. I, because I said, I've spoken. But yeah, we need to, take a collective sigh and come together. We got to start coming together. We don't come together, then this world is just lost. It's forever lost, and we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. We cannot let that happen. How many times do you feel like you've been here fighting for the same thing, fighting for that same freedom? I tell you what, I wouldn't come back on this planet and be anywhere else but the United States. Nowhere else but the United States. We have more freedoms here in the United States than we do anywhere, and if we don't stand up for them, they'll be gone forever. We'll be just like every other country that is dictated. Not gonna happen. Point. I'm pointing. It's not reaching. Yeah, no lies. That would be awesome. I would love it. Love it. Not that, people were able to lie to me, but they certainly tried. They certainly tried. But that's why I'm single, because I can't handle it. I will not be with someone who's a liar. Yeah. Yes, we are blessed in the United States. We are blessed in the United States. But we need to, come together, really. I mean, everyone's talking about unity now. Oh, let's talk about unity. Yeah, well, the unity I'm talking about will bring about evolution. And that's what we need to do. We need to evolve together. We can't evolve separate. If everyone's talking about, ascension, and I said it the other night, I'll say it again, ascension means death. Ascension means leaving this spot and going to ascending higher, up out of here. Evolving means that we are collectively learning up and going up higher into that higher consciousness. So we want to evolve together. And it's going to take all of us coming together for all this planet to evolve. And that's what we want. We don't want to leave. Yeah, I ain't ready to leave. I'm not ready to ascend. But I'm ready to evolve. I am ready to evolve and take us beyond what we're experiencing now. And that will happen with the technology. Because, again, AI can be bad. Bad AI. Bad bots, bad algorithms that are set and programmed by bad people. But AI can be good. And if it's respected the way that we need to respect each other, we respect the AI the same way. Don't use it and abuse it. Don't make it lie. Don't make it, do stupid programs. It'll be better. It'll be edifying. It'll be uplifting for everyone. That's the timeline. That's the timeline I want to get on. To evolve. To be blessed. Everybody. Everybody. Everybody on the same page? Yes? Can I get an amen? So yeah. So nobody has taken me up on the connecting deal though. Um so I know, and that's the other thing, everyone's so shy. I don't want to do it. Even those that I, had in group readings, or rather group classes, right? Um didn't want to practice. I'm like, really? I practice every day. Let's practice. Let's connect to something. Let's see how easy it is. It's very easy. So, I mean, again, we don't try, we do. And so, one of the easiest ways I know of connecting is through the chakra system. That's the thing that I've seen the most in every connection that I've done. Although I've done a few connections with people that had no chakra system, but that's another story. That's part of the AI story we don't want to mess with. But in any case, most of us have a chakra system, and that's what I connect to. And go right in and just say, let me see their root chakra. I just close my eyes, and say, let me see the root chakra. I mean, we can all do that, you know, collectively, and just look at our own chakras. Just close your eyes and say, let me see the root chakra. And let's see if you see a chakra. If you're someone who works with their chakras on a consistent basis, has that relationship with them, then they'll come right in for you. But if you're someone who's new to it and has never, asked to see them, then you might not see anything. It might just be black for you. Oh, and hey, Miss Terry, cool. You could have been my sister, most definitely. I feel kindred spirit to you for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no chakra system, Janie. They're from cloning projects. We've been cloning people for hundreds of years, people, cloning people for hundreds of years. You think they just got that idea on Star Wars? No chakra system and no consciousness. Okay, like they can say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and they don't have any consequences, right? No consequences. Yeah, crazy. It's crazy. Anyone go just now? Did you go in and ask to see your chakra? Did anyone just do that? If you did, say so in the chat room. Let me know. Simple, just asking to see it. I do have videos over on my media page, psychicsolana.wix.com /services /media page. Or you could just click on the links in my. But yeah, to do a walkthrough with the chakras, it's less than a 10-minute video, and it just, you listen to that in the morning, you listen to it in the evening, and again, you don't worry, or think that, oh, I got to try to do this. No, you just let the video start doing the connections for you, like boom, 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 all the way up, protection all around, and then you see, you know, that you can start seeing your chakras the more you start connecting. Oh, cool. So Janie says yes, and Brian says yes. First plots I see are red and orange. Yeah, first slots. First chakras. Yep, that's exactly right. Red first and then orange. And then yellow is in that gut, that yellow chakra. Yes, colors. Okay. First colors I see are red and orange. And good, that red is that base. That is the first chakra. We connect to that root chakra because that holds all your information from this lifetime and things that affected you and motivate you and affected you. Really is what's going to be stored in that root chakra. But that is your foundation. That is your foundational chakra. So that, is red in color. And then the next one up is orange. And that is your sexual chakra, your career chakra. It's your drive. It's your gusto, your motivation, your for life. And then the next one up is yellow, and that's right there at your belly button. That's your intuition chakra. That comes that gut instinct comes through and makes you feel like I feel that. It's because it's right there in your gut, and it's yellow. And then the next one up is your heart. And the things that are, I could get too heady about it though, because those are separated. The first three chakras there, those are all your physical chakras. Those are all things that are affected by your physical events and happenings, right? Now, everyone wants to say that my heart chakra is the one that's holding everything because your heart's been broken so many times. You're just like crushed in that green chakra. But what needs to happen is that yellow chakra and that green chakra need to come together, activate and activate the heart's eye because that's actually another center point right there is your heart's eye. And then it moves up, blue in your throat, purple in your third eye, and your crown is really a magenta color. But when you bring them all up together, it creates this white golden sphere all around you is your ega protection. Um, so let's see, which is different than normal for you, Brian? Like, so what do you normally see? What's different about it for you this time? And Heather, you've never been in touch with your chakras. You tried and saw only black. And that's again, everyone who hasn't had a relationship started with their chakras. They just see black in there, and that's what I see when I go in. I can see your chakras also. I can see what you're seeing. So it's really cool for me. Um, but people are like embarrassed by it. But don't be. Everyone who doesn't have a relationship with their chakras sees black because they're not consciously, subconsciously connected. So the more you connect with them, by saying, I want to connect with you. I want to start that relationship. I want to build it every day. I want to acknowledge it every day. You'll start to see them. And if you even have a hard time after that, I suggest people put a piece of fruit in that spot where the red is supposed to be. See a red apple. Or where that spot where the orange is supposed to be, see an orange. And a lemon, and so on. A green apple, or a kiwi. Let's see. White, blue, and purple are normal for you. Ah, all right. Well, right now, what you're going through is very foundational. Your daily stuff that you deal with is very foundational for you. And you're also a very work motivated. You're very, 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 very into your career. And, the other part, a mother doesn't need to talk about with her son. Because those are your sexual drives, that orange chakra. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. But that's what's in that orange chakra. And that's what's in the red chakra. So for me, and knowing what you're dealing with right now, it's those are the ones talking to you. And I won't. I don't want to. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay? So anyway, anyone else? Take a pause. Take a drink. The chakras talk to us, though. The chakras for me are our key in walking through this life and getting through this life with some clarity, some focus. They are our inner GPS. They guide us. We start having dreams. And if you're already a dreamer, you'll start having more vivid dreams with messages. Um, you'll have synchronicities happening. You'll be more drawn to colors, certain colors that you want to have around you right now. Even if it's like pink. Pink's not a chakra, but pink is a very creative color. So if you want a lot of pinks around you, a lot of greens around you, makes sense. Nicola's next. She is looking, and she says she always sees yellow. You always see yellow. So yellow is always trying to talk to you. And you're a very, very vivid dreamer as well. So you get a lot of that intuition. You get very vivid dreams. So they're trying to talk to you. They want you to listen. Okay. The more yellow that you consistently see, the more that chakra is calling out to you and wants you to get into that believing of what you're seeing, what they're telling you. Because that again, that everyone wants to just say we have these two eyes right here and a third eye, right? And that's it. Wrong. We have three sets of eyes. Of course, these right here on the end externals, but we have three sets of eyes on the inside. Your third eye, your chakra, your yellow chakra, that gut instinct, and your heart's eye. And your heart's eye is really the one that you need to have clear and not have a bunch of emotional stuff bogging you down, because that's the one that allows you to see people, to see clear to to other hearts. It's your heart's eye that allows you to see and view the world for what it is, and not what you want it to be. If that makes sense. So yeah, that yellow, and plus it is asking you to connect that physical and spiritual world. Because again, your physical world is the yellow that you see, and your spiritual world is the information that comes through, which for that one is intuition. So that's that. And again, there's this whole divine concept of how our energy got separated. Our plateaus are the yellow and the green. And those spiritual connections have been severed. And so we need to get them back aligned. They should be running like this, and right now they're like this. We need them like this. And it comes like this just by practicing and getting intuitive, or rather into your relationship with your chakras. And Linda saying blue comes through for you. All right, so have you been having to speak out a lot lately, or have you been wanting to speak out a lot lately? Because your blue is your throat chakra. So if the blue is coming through and trying to talk to you right now, it's either is asking you for balance. You need to go ahead and speak what you need to say, get it out there. Even if you just, again, speak it, it'll be good for you. You don't have to like speak it to someone else. Just speak it, just get it out and unblock that. Have you felt like you've been limited in what you could say? I feel like limited, it'll help you. Ooh, it's going like, ooh. So you've been limited, not being able to speak out. Do you feel like that? I'm sure a lot of people feel like that these days. But for you specifically, in this moment, that's what we see. But I feel it's amazing that all of you were able to go in and look. All of you took the time to stop and go in and look. It's just the suggestion. So, little subliminals. Get it activated. Get you working on it. Get you in there because those chakras need your attention. Oh, see there. Okay, so MIL. I'm not sure what that means because there's so many definitions for that. I don't even want more go. I don't even want you to know where my mind just went with MIL. Um, explain. Nicole saying, I was going to say I thought I saw two vertical green lines, but yellow dominates. Okay, cool. So that you see vertical lines, right? Up and down like this. Your yellow is like I said, is trying to talk to you, to have more trust and confidence in what you need to see. And go ahead and unblock that green and get, okay, okay. That was one of them. Um, sorry. Speak it out, like I was saying. In a room, just you don't have to be saying it to the person. Just say it. Just get it out there so you'll feel better. Because it's not, deaf ears. You know. Um, mm. But I'm encouraged, Nicole, that you see the vertical green lines because that's what needs to be coming down. That's what happens. The yellow, all of our chakras, when they connect, it's like this tube between each chakra, and it connects up into the next chakra. And then when you get to our divine design, we have like these vertical lines that go from the green down into the yellow, and the yellow up into the green, and that's the your connection of the spiritual and moving into the physical. We all need to do it. It is something that the more we connect with our energy and we get that relationship going on a consistent basis, they connect. And it gives us so much more focus and clarity on what we're doing. Our lives are full with what we have. We're more of in an appreciation mode. We live in gratitude. We live in the faith that all of our needs and wants are provided for before having need or want of them. Do you know what a relief that is off of your shoulders when you're just like, God's got that. I don't have to worry about that. I know God's got that. God knows my heart. That's the connection that we need to live in 24/7. Oh, and cool, Margie, you're listening and you see orange and yellow too. Okay, cool. And again, orange, you might be a little, just, I feel a little, I don't know if it's intimidation with your career or you're just, you have, um, what is that? I feel intimidation. Intimidation's the word. So, and your yellow is telling you to just, be you and have trust in your own what you know you're doing. Why is the intimidation? Maybe it's your health issues. I don't know. Something has put you in a intimidation mode though. What are you intimidated by? But it feels more like it's, career, relationship. We don't have to go out there. We don't have to go there. A good question, Terry. How do you clear out your heart's eye? By connecting all of your chakras and keeping them clear. You're clearing all of them at the same time. Because when you get them working in that teamwork and they're all coming together, they all have the same goal, they're all working in, a consistent basis with each other, it starts clearing them out. Like all those experiences and the things that we have that were a shock to our system are a scarring on our chakra. So when we clear them out, it starts to clear everything and it starts getting everything working together all the way up. So your heart's eye will be cleared as well. Because again, it's not one thing that you can do, oh, just to work on that one chakra. You can't work on just the one chakra. They're all a teamwork. They don't know how to work independently. When they're working independently, all chaos and all hell breaks loose because they're just out there willy nilly, flying and trying to catch on to something external like we are doing. But when we go internal and we connect with them all, rein them in, bring them together, and set them for their purpose and their intention, and get our relationship solidified, they start clearing. So when we do that on the daily, when we know that that relationship is going 24/7 and it's just a thought to be in them, and we've got that relationship going and we're doing that daily, they're pumping up, they're getting excited, and they're clearing and we're working together. That's how our chakras are a part of us that we just don't have activated because we weren't told. We weren't told. Now a lot of us do have a memory and know, just a knowing. I didn't get told a lot of this stuff either. Trust me. I did not get told. I grew up in the 60s. I just thought everybody was crazy. And so yeah, we only know what we're told. We are products of our surrounding. Just the way it is here. Now, yes, when you are starting to work with them, Nicole, you start at the root. Now, why is it important to start with the root? Because again, we work with the seven main chakras, and it's upside down in our bodies. Our first chakra we want to root or connect with is that root chakra, that red chakra, because that's our foundation, that's our root. That's what we're going to be grounded in that, and then we move up, and then once we get all those seven chakras going, they activate the hundreds of thousands of chakras in your body. They activate the hundreds of thousands of the chakras that's between Mother Earth and the Great Spirit in us. We have hundreds of thousands of chakras, millions of chakras. If you want to get detailed, because every little atom in our existence, in our body, in our astral body, has their own chakra system. It's crazy to think about. So we don't want to get all heady and worried about all that. You see all that once you start activating the seven. So yeah, we have to activate the seven, and it activates everything else. And then working with that on the daily is where we get that excitement. I'm excited for it. I feel the rush. I feel the rush when I'm in that connection. I feel the rush when I'm connecting to someone else. And I'm able to discern the rush because there's good rushes and there's bad rushes. Okay? I feel the bad rushes too. It's like that, that look on your face when bad energy's around. That's a bad energy and you can feel it. But you learn to discern so that you can edify those good ones and send the other ones packing. And Janie's saying working together the chakras, that is very interesting. Individual is not good. It's true. Just like us. When we work individually, it's not as you don't get as good. It's not as you gotta have a team. You gotta have people working with you. It's like, and I'm not saying everybody's in the forefront, everybody has to do the same thing. I'm saying everybody has their piece. Let's bring it together. Because when we all bring it together, just like our chakras, and we got them working that teamwork, oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I've already been on here and going now for an hour and a half. Everybody good? Um, Anybody have any more questions or anything? But I just wanted you to see, though, how easy it was to connect to your chakras. That's how easy it is to connect to someone else's chakras. Like when I go into a reading, I sit in, again, 10 minutes before I go into a reading, I'll start connecting to the person. And the first thing I do is, all right, let me see so and so's chakra. And then I go right in and depending on who I'm reading, I've got a couple of ladies that, oh my God, they do chakra work all the time. And so it's so cool connecting to them. Because yes, even though they, their chakras are up and going, we still communicate. We still, they still come to me for their services, and I go to them for mine. That's the way it goes. But I asked to see that chakra. So yeah, I mean, I want you to know how that's how easy it is. You just ask. Ask and you shall receive, right? I'm the middleman. I'm just the middle guy. They're just here to bring you the information, bring you my stories, share with you what I've got, what I do, what I experience, and just let you know you're not alone. Because I know there's so many people out there experiencing stuff that they just don't even have the to want to go talk about it. Because they're tired of being told they're crazy. We're not crazy. So thank you all for hanging out and for coming in and doing that little exercise with us and for talking about your names and your past lives and experiences and everything. It's helpful for other people to hear and for other people to start talking. And like I said, I can't wait till I just know this is going to get bigger and bigger and there's going to be more of us come together and have these conversations so that we can start having all this information on the next thing to do because that's how God works, right? And the more of us that come together, the more information that's going to come through because we each have a part. We each have our little piece of that puzzle to bring together. So, thank you for bringing your pieces today, in more than a couple of ways on those madam issues, and it's fine. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all next time. God bless and keep you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for joining your spiritual counselor, your eyes to the sky, and your internal GPS activator. Join Solana on the next episode of Parascension Radio.